What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here. As always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's had a great, finally freaking Friday. It's the 4th of July weekend. There's a lot of people that are still out, and they're saying, that more people will be traveling on this 4th of July weekend than have since before the pandemic. They said literally the amount of people that are traveling is still crazy. I think they said the biggest day will actually be Sunday. So if you are traveling through some of the airports, I heard that in Miami, they had like a green sludge dripping out of the ceiling, which is like a dye they put into the air conditioning coolant water, so that way when it would leak, they would know where it was leaking from. So watch out for the green slime. It's kind of like Nickelodeon, I guess. But be that as it may, hopefully everybody's having a great summer. The crazy thing about the summer is it goes by so fast. It's tomorrow going to be the 6th of July. Before you know it, school's going to be back in a little over a month. Training camp is going to be in less than 3 weeks. And before you know it, it's 62 days until kickoff of the NFL season. And you know, I am a positive person. I like to try and see the good in everything. If there's a chance of success, I'm going to go for the chance. And I'm a believer. Maybe I'm a fool, but I'm a believer in things. So this is hard for me this year more than any other year. As I sit here, I don't understand the mentality of the Dallas Cowboys. We're sitting here after 3 years of getting 12 wins. Wins. That's 12 times you had victory to only 5 times you had defeats. You had 2 2/5 wins for every loss. We've had times where it was 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, where we failed on the last week of the regular season. In each of those years, and we didn't talk about blowing it up. We didn't put the quarterback on a 1-year contract. We didn't not sign Dennis Bryant. We kept on going. And we broke through to a season that was considered a great season. It was 12-4. So we went 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, and said, let's keep rolling the dice. And we go 12-4. And that was considered great. Coach ended up being Coach of the Year. I think it was Coach of the Year. Was it Coach of the Year? I think he was Coach of the Year. But here we are now, 3 years of 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. And the Joneses have done absolutely everything that they could, it seemed to be, to undermine the team. You make the players feel like ass because they actually want to get paid. You actually have one that's going to be holding out and missing precious practice time because you haven't done that deal. You've gone through and you've made it more expensive to literally sign them, which means now you're in more of a bind. And I look at these teams, like, let's just take last year's team. Just for a second. What if the Cowboys had gotten themselves another running back to replace Zeke? Because we went into last year with the offense that we had the year before with Zeke and Tony Pollard. And they got almost 2,000 yards running. We decide, Zeke's too expensive. We'll get rid of him. But you don't replace his production. You just say, Tony Pollard, you can do both roles. And that was a failure. Then, you look at it from a Michael Gallup standpoint, who's been going downhill for 3 years, and say, we'll just roll the dice on that. You have lost your young linebacker. In training camp. You don't replace him, and the other linebacker that you have is a guy who you know is injury prone. And you go through the season without having linebackers, having seen over and over again that you can't stop the run with the lack of linebackers. If the Cowboys had gotten themselves, let's say hypothetically, brought in a veteran like a Namakatsu to help that line, and had gone out and gotten themselves a legitimate linebacker, do you think that we would have given up so much yardage on the ground? And maybe we could have won the game? If we had a other option that was a between the tackles guy, so when Tony Pollard tries to run it into the end zone, truck a guy, and get stopped, that maybe that guy might have been able to get into the end zone, and maybe a third viable target for Dak Prescott, who had 36 TDs without a running game. If we had just done a few minor things, we probably would have gotten a different result. But for whatever reason, the Cowboys keep doing the same thing. It's like flying to the West Coast knowing that it's 2,600 miles and we're going to take 2,601 miles worth of gas. Because, a thunderstorm won't come up and we won't have to go around it or anything. Or, we get some bad air or some turbulence or something and got to go up higher or things like that. Or maybe there's a delay at the airport. That won't happen and we have to circle around. We'll have just enough gas to get there. And that, my friends, is why every year our plane ends up crashing. Because we don't plan for those extra bits where we need a little more gas. And it mystifies me, and I don't understand at this point with the Cowboys being this close after the things that we've done where we literally went 5-11, and it took the third time before we finally changed. But now that we've actually had 3 years with 12 wins, now's the time to start all over. Yeah. Alrighty, good people. I am going to take me a shower, and I'm going to bed. And may tomorrow be a better day. And let me say, Aisha Robinson, sending prayers to you. You lost your aunt. Feel bad for you, and I know it's difficult. So everybody, keep Aisha Robinson in your prayers. And if that does not remind you, tell the people you love how much you love them. Might not get the chance again, and I love you guys. Peace out.